Okay. Hi, sorry, I was a little bit needed to sort my slides out a second. Um hi, my name's Danica. I see that quite a few of you are already in, but I'm gonna just give it a couple more minutes to allow people to come in. So I just thought in the meantime, we could do if we open up the chat box up and we can write in there, where we're from, where we're attending from. So I'm in Berlin, for example. Um, so if you can, yeah, just to get the chat box going, we'll give it a couple more minutes for people to come in. So I've just put in a poll. If you could answer that as well in the meantime, just to basically ask you how much you already know about the opportunity card. So there's three options there. So if you already know quite a bit about the opportunity card, if you've heard of it but you don't really know much about it, so maybe you've seen an advertisement or something, and then nothing at all. So if you don't know anything about it, yeah, you can answer that. I'd be interested to see what you say. But yeah, hi Diana from Kenya, Ernest from Uganda, quite a few people writing in, thank you. Alhamza, oh, you're already in Germany with the opportunity card. So that's interesting. So are you here working? Have you already got a part-time job or anything? Or are you here, are you still searching for a job? You came here on the bot account. How did you get here? That's interesting. Um, Hi, Jesse from Nigeria, Claude from Rwanda. Happy to have you here. Samantha from Uganda. Wow, there's lots of you. Esteban from Madagascar. That's great. Thank you, everyone. The number's still going up slowly, but it's been 4 minutes now, so I'll start. So thank you everyone for coming. I hope that this can be somewhat informative for you all. So my name is Danica. I work here at terratalent as a talent mobility consultant, and I'm focusing mainly on the opportunity card. Um, I'm doing this today. We often get quite a lot of questions about it. We get lots of questions on lots of different things, but I feel like the opportunity card is one of those things that's still quite confusing for people. So I hope that like putting these slides together can just kind of bring some of this confusing information together in a more understandable fashion. But as you can tell, I don't know if you can hear, I'm from the UK originally. I'm from Manchester. I moved to Germany almost 3 years ago now. And yeah, I like living in Germany, and there's a lot of people that, want to move to Germany and, realize it's very bureaucratic. I mean, we here at Terra Talent, we all none of us are originally from Germany, so we all kind of have this experience, like this personal experience as well, with the whole moving to Germany process. So I feel like it's yeah, we can help you. But yes, with questions, I would just say, yeah, write your questions in the chat box. If we have time at the end, we'll go through some questions, but my colleagues are also, they should also be in the chat box so they can like answer questions throughout. And then my colleague Kenny will take over halfway through, and then I'll switch, and then I'll be answering some questions in the chat box as well. And then if there's time at the end, we'll tackle some at the end. So yeah, just to get into it. So this is going to be the agenda for today. So the next couple of slides are just going to be about terratalent, who we are. And then I will go straight into the Skilled Immigration Act and the 3 pillars. And then going on to the third pillar and the potential pillar, which is the opportunity card. So talking about eligibility, so who qualifies for the opportunity card, and then going into the financial requirements, so how you can prove your financial sufficiency, for example, to come here through Bot's account or declaration of commitment or whatever. Yes, the recording will be shared afterward. And yeah, you should all get an email with the recording and everything afterwards. And then the fourth section will be taken over by Kenny, and then this is to go on about job search, so how to look for jobs. So this will be, you know, once you've got once you're here on the opportunity card, then the next hurdle is then actually finding a job. So then this will be covered in the second section, talking about, yes, where to look for them, how to build networks, different events, different job fairs, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so about us. So we are, we're called terratalent. We're a consultancy who aims to bridge the gap between German companies and talent pools outside of Germany. And this is against the backdrop of the labour shortage crisis, which I'm sure many of you have probably heard about. So this is not only in Germany, this is happening, you know, all across Europe. But just to kind of clarify, we aren't a headhunting company, but rather we aim to, you know, build this bridge between the international talent pool and German companies by building and creating networks. So here's 6 examples of some connections we already have. But on this slide, you can see we're pretty well connected across Europe. So it isn't only, like I said, it isn't only Germany that's interested in international talent pools, but the majority of Europe. So yeah, so here are just a few examples of investment promotion agencies. And these are agencies who are trying to kind of mitigate the impact of these shortages through these networks and bridging gaps between these talent pools and European companies. So here, quite a few again. I don't think even everything is on here, but as you can see, we have quite a wide range of contacts, international contacts, German contacts. So these are our educational partners and corporate partners. So the educational partners, for example, are examples of, say, coding schools across Africa. And yeah, here we have some German connections too. And just to zoom in on one of those, this is the Africa Berlin Tech Network. And this is a Senate organized initiative. And this aims to facilitate the exchange of resources. So resources, talent, ideas between these select African nations here and Berlin. So Berlin specifically. So yeah, that's just to highlight one. But to actually kick things off, we need to kind of set the stage for why the opportunity card was introduced. And it's worth looking first at the demographic changes that are reshaping Germany right now. So as said already, Europe is undergoing a major demographic shift. The baby boomers are retiring, and we're already seeing these effects on the labour market. So just to give you some numbers, there it says over the next 15 years, nearly 12.9 million people in Germany are expected to reach retirement age, which is, almost 1/7 of the entire workforce, which is insane numbers. At present, Germany's working age population is standing at around, I think it even says there, I think it's 45 million, 45.7 million. But projections are suggesting that by 2060, this could fall by around 7 million, so 4.40 million it will fall to. So yeah, it's quite a significant decline, and obviously has quite huge implications for the labour market and in turn the overall economy. So yeah, this aging population, it doesn't only mean fewer workers, but it also creates more demand in certain sectors. So this means, particularly in healthcare, the need for qualified nurses, caregivers, medical staff, which is already quite high. This will only just continue to get more dire. So, and just as an extra point on that, there are fewer young people going into apprenticeships, and this is especially concerning in areas like elderly care, for example, where apprenticeships are the main training route. So yeah, just to put it all into perspective, there it says 400,000 workers are needed per year to fill the gap. So these are quite significant numbers, and kind of highlights the urgency behind these new measures like the Opportunity Card. So yeah, so in response to obviously these demographic challenges, Germany introduced the Skilled Immigration Act, and this was in March 2020. And then in November 2023, there were more reforms that came into force. And these were designed to really make the system more flexible and more accessible. And this was particularly for professionals coming from outside the European Union. So the overall aim of these changes is to streamline and speed up the process for non-European Union nationals entering the German labour market. As you know, it's always been, it still is, but these reforms are to kind of make it more streamlined, just to get people in here quicker. But yeah, another one crucial point is that these reforms also broaden the access. So historically, the law focused mainly on people who had only academic qualifications, whereas like now access has been broadened, and vocational training and practical skills are now valued and recognized too. So this is quite an important shift, and kind of signals this move away from this very narrow, very degree only system towards a more inclusive approach. So if you're, say, a caregiver, mechanic, chef, IT specialist, there are now multiple ways to enter Germany's job market. So how does the reformed Skilled Immigration Act actually work in practice? So it is now built on three main pillars. Previously, as I said, Germany's immigration system was quite restrictive. So it was mainly aimed at very highly qualified professionals. So, engineers, IT experts, researchers, and these were typically people who would apply for the European Union Blue Card. But now since these reforms, the scope has widened pretty significantly. So we'll have a quick walkthrough. So the first pillar is the skilled worker pillar. So this is the specialist pillar. So this is the pillar that is, remains the core of the system. But there have been some reforms even within this pillar too. So now this allows that skilled workers can more easily obtain residence permits and EU blue cards. And one of these main changes is the salary threshold. So previously, when people were applying through, for the skilled worker for the EU blue card, you would need to earn around 56,000 euros per year. But this has now been lowered to 48,300 euros. And for shortage occupations, or called bottleneck professions, the threshold is even lower, and this is at 43,700 euros. So yeah, this significantly broadens the scope for people to come in as a skilled worker. But to go on to the second and third pillars, which are where the more significant changes can be seen. So in the experience pillar, this recognises professional experience. So if someone has at least 2 years of relevant work experience and a vocational qualification that is officially recognised in their country of origin, they can come to Germany to work in a non-regulated profession. We still have to meet a salary threshold, but this option creates opportunities for people who may not have gone through the full German recognition process yet. But this only is for non-regulated professions. For regulated professions such as doctors or veterinarians, the recognition procedure is still obligatory. This still applies. But the one that we're going to focus on today is the third pillar. So this is the potential pillar. So the opportunity card is the newest element of this whole system, and it's designed for people who don't yet have a job offer, but they may have the potential to contribute to the labour market. So just as I said before, so the second and the third pillars, these kind of represent this major shift in the law, and they focus on and acknowledge this the experience of people and their future potential, and they acknowledge these as kind of valid grounds for migration rather than focusing solely on formal academic recognition. So yeah, so it's pretty exciting. But now to actually go into what is exactly the opportunity card. So we now have all the background. So the demographic shifts, the aging population, the background, so why the Skilled Immigration Act was introduced and reformed, but what actually is the opportunity card, or in German, the Chancenkarte. So this is essentially a residence permit that allows skilled workers from non-European Union countries to come to Germany without a job offer. So the purpose of this permit is to either look for work or to complete recognition procedures for foreign qualifications. So for example, if your degree or vocational training needs to be formally recognised in Germany, you can come in with the opportunity card in order to complete this process. So the opportunity card is issued for a maximum of 1 year. Under certain conditions, it can be extended for another 2 years. But what is important is that you can support yourself financially for the whole duration that you're here on the opportunity card. So if you're here for 1 year, you have to show, we'll speak more about it later, but you have to show that you can fund your stay here for the whole year. If you do extend it, this then applies. You would have to then show that you can fund yourself for the next year or the 2 years after that. So this is quite a big hurdle. But before we get to that, we're going to go into eligibility. So who is eligible? So here you can see on the left and right hand side, there are 2 different ways in which one can obtain the opportunity card. So on the left, we have the so-called skilled worker option. And this applies to people who they already have a qualification that's fully recognized in Germany. And this immediately makes you eligible for the opportunity card. So recognition, it's own process and is also, again, quite bureaucratic. But in simple terms, it's just essentially just checking whether your foreign qualification is equivalent to its German counterpart. So if you have this, then you are, this is the route that you would choose to go down for the opportunity card. For regulated professions, so these are professions like teaching, medicine, or nursing. A professional recognition is legally required. For non-regulated professions, this is for professions like computer science, for example, you will need what's called a statement of comparability. Another way to check that you qualify is through the Anabin database. So this is just like an online database of all of the universities outside of Germany, universities and courses outside of Germany. And here you can just go in and check. You can just write in the degree you studied, at which institution, and there you can see if it's recognized. So if it has a H+ rating, this essentially confirms recognition. So in short, if your qualification is fully recognized, you automatically qualify to apply for the opportunity card. But of course, obviously there are other requirements, especially around finances, which I'll go into in a moment. But then there's the second route. So if you don't have a recognized qualification, you go into Anabin and it says H-. There is another option for you. So, and this is the scoring system. So before you go into the scoring system, you have to meet these basic requirements. So this is a state recognized qualification. They're academic or vocational, of a minimum of at least 2 years. So maybe you haven't done the full 3 years, you've done the 2, and it's at a recognized institution, then this qualifies. You also need there's also the Chamber of Commerce, that's what I was trying to think of. Also, if you've done a vocational qualification from a German Chamber of Commerce abroad, it says there, category A qualification, this also qualifies as this basic requirement for the scoring system. There is also, of course, the language requirement. So you have to have either German at level A1 or English at level B2. And then the next basic requirement is, of course, the 6 points in the scoring system. So we have the 2 basic requirements and then the point system where you need to acquire 6 points, which is here. So just to break it down, for your qualifications, you can acquire, like we said already, you can acquire up to 6 points. So a fully recognized degree is 6 points, then you're eligible. But partial recognition, so this is a partially recognized university degree or vocational training of a minimum of 2 years studying. This qualifies you for 4 points. If your qualification as well is in a shortage occupation, then this can get you 1 more point. So then you're already at 5 if that's you. So yeah, these shortage occupations, like I said, this is medicine, nursing, IT. There it says your work experience. So for your work experience, you can acquire up to 3 points. So you can get 2 points if you can show that you've worked at least, if you have 2 years of experience in the last 5 years, or you have 5 years of experience within the last 7, this gets you up to 3 points. So yeah, so that's the experience, points for experience. Then if you, depending on your age, you can also get points. So 2 points if you are 35 or younger, or 1 point between the ages of 36 and 40. Unfortunately, if you're over the age of 40, you don't get any points for that. Language, of course, up to 4 points. So as A1 is the minimum requirement, this doesn't get you any points, but from A2 onwards in your German, you can start acquiring points. So this is 1 point for A2, 2 for B1, and 3 for B2. And then you can get 4 if you can show approved C1 level in English. Your previous stays in Germany can get you points. So if you've lived in Germany in the last 5 years for a continuous period of 6 months, this can also get you a point. So this includes study and work stays, not tourism. And even the potential of your spouse can get you a point. So if your spouse also meets the requirements for an opportunity card, then you can get a point for that. So yeah, so that's the point system. But we'll go into the financial issues in a moment. But if you want to check that you're eligible for the opportunity card, here is the opportunity card calculator. This is on our talent website, talent.terratalent.de. And just there on the main page, you'll see in the top right-hand corner the opportunity card calculator. And there you can just answer some questions, so about your degree, your work experience, your language skills, and then it will tell you if you would qualify or not. But if it says that you don't fret. There are, of course, different ways, and we're obviously, of course, there to help you as well, to see where we can fill in some of those, gaps, skill gaps, language gaps, for you. If you really want to come on the opportunity card, it's the only option. Then we can see, where we can fill in these gaps. So yeah, but we will just assume that you do qualify. So this is either through the recognition, through the first route, through full recognition, or you come in through the point system, partial recognition. So no matter which route you do take, you do still need to prove that you can support yourself financially during your stay in Germany. So again, 2 main ways to do this. There is the first option is the blocked account. So this is in German the Sperrkonto, and this is the most common method for people to come over. So if you're not familiar with a blocked account, you would need to deposit a fixed monthly allowance of at least 1,027 euros into this account. And then, of course, you can't withdraw it all at once. It's then released in monthly installments. So for a 6-month stay, this is 6,162 euros that you would need to have sitting in this account, which would then be released in monthly installments. Or for 12 months, if you're here for a year, it's 12,300, just over that. So of course, it's quite a significant hurdle for many applicants. Not everyone really has that amount of money to just, put in an account. But there are several providers. So here is Fintiba. This is an officially recognized provider, and the process is fully online. So you first complete an application and verify your identity with your passport. And then you transfer the required funds depending on the length of your stay. So yeah, then once the funds arrive, you receive this like blocking confirmation thing. So then this is what you would then kind of show for your visa application. Then once you arrive in Germany, once all of these things are out the way, you land in Germany, then you have to register your address at your local citizen's office. And then through this, once you've got this, it's called the Anmeldung. You then open a standard current account here in Germany, a standard German bank account, and then each month the blocked account will then transfer your allowance into this account. So it's quite a bit of paperwork, but it is fairly straightforward, and this is something that we can help you with. The second option there, it says the declaration of commitment. So your I can't even say it, Verpflichtungserklärung. And this is provided by a sponsor who is living in Germany. So this is not just anyone who lives in Germany. So this has to be a citizen of Germany, or a citizen of the European Union, or someone who is a resident. They have a valid resident permit here in Germany, or they have the permanent residency here in Germany. So these are the kinds of people that you can have essentially take financial responsibility for you. So they then submit this declaration to their local foreigners authority, and then this basically says that they take responsibility for your living costs, your accommodation, and even your healthcare expenses. So this, of course, can ease the burden on you, but obviously it's quite a big commitment for the sponsor. They know how to prove their financial stability, and they can then even take on potential liability for example, if something happens to you, you need medical care. So it's quite a big commitment, but it's also one option for you. But one special thing about the opportunity card is this statement of employment. So compared to the old visa types, so the job seeker visa, the opportunity card is much more flexible. So with the job seeker visa, you came here to search for work, and you cannot do any kind of work while you're on that. But with the opportunity card, you are permitted to work for an average of a total maximum of 20 hours per week, which is quite a big shift. Obviously, the job seeker visa didn't allow this, so this could be quite difficult for people, and could, the opportunity card provides some stability in this aspect. So this is where it kind of gets more practical. So if you do have already a part-time job contract when you're applying for the opportunity card, you can use that then to prove financial self-sufficiency. So in other words, you won't even need a blocked account or a sponsor if you're earning enough through this. Also there, like the smaller green box, it says there that you can take part in short trial periods or tryout periods of up to 2 weeks. So these can be done at different companies or training institutions. These trials do have to be connected or related to your qualification or tied to vocational training measures. But this is this flexibility with the opportunity card that you can't get with like the job seeker visa. It allows you to, get your foot in the door, build employer connections, which could then lead to a contract later on. But this, of course, is essentially, especially for those who, you can't afford a blocked account, or you don't know someone in Germany who would, hold this financial responsibility for you. So this route is a much more accessible route into Germany. So just to crunch the numbers, so your financial requirement, as we said already, your financial requirement is 1,027 euros per month, and the minimum wage right now in Germany is 12 euros 82. It's 82. If you work the maximum of 20 hours per week, this adds up to just over 1,000 euros per month. So your part-time job alone could cover your financial requirement. So this is why many people with the opportunity card do take these part-time jobs, as it does sustain you while you search for permanent employment. So the kind of jobs that you would do while you're yeah, these minimum wage jobs that you would do while you're on the opportunity card. So these are, entry-level sectors. So logistics, warehouse operations, food, package delivery, career services. So these are the kinds of positions that are in, constant demand, but they don't always require advanced German. So quite often, like you can use English in some of these positions. They, of course, provide stability during the transition between coming from the opportunity card into your permanent employment. So yeah, so I'm gonna just to bring everything together. The opportunity card is, just a much more flexible pathway into the German labour market than the previous options. As you see, it allows for part-time work, trial placements, and a broader recognition of qualifications and skills. So if you're interested in pursuing this route, we, of course, would love to support you with the process. We're going to talk more about our services later on, but we do have an opportunity card route where we can help you with each step of the process. And this also includes helping you with finding this 20 hours per week job for while you're here. But I'll go more into that later with my colleague Kenny. But I'll hand you over to him, who will then walk you through how to, once you've got the opportunity card, then actually finding a job. So thank you for listening. I hope that was helpful. And I'll now be in the chat box answering some questions in there while Kenny's speaking. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That was really insightful. And hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, so my name is Kenny. I'm from Nigeria, but I currently live and work in Germany, and I'm working with Danica, with terratalent. So before now, I've also lived and worked in multiple countries, recently in East Africa, Uganda, and Tanzania. So the opportunity card is a very interesting opportunity, and I feel like this is the best time to grab this opportunity. As Danica has shared, Germany needs you all. Yeah, the population is really getting old. UK is closing their borders. If you see what's happening in the United States, similar reality. And Germany is saying, okay, you can even come even without a job, just come. And then this is something I find like it's really, really super cool. And I think it's something like everyone should think about in terms of exploring now. This visa is still new. I can tell you in the next 2 years, it might not be like this. It might not be easy like this. So the best time to grab this opportunity is now. And with regards to job search, I know people might feel like, okay, I'm coming with the opportunity card. How do I even start to find job? So I'll just give an overview in terms of some of the things that can help you. And maybe what Dedanika didn't mention, with regards to the requirement for the opportunity card, we also can support people to get like a part-time work contract. And this can also give you the opportunity to even come to Germany without having the block account. But we can share more in that regard towards the end of the section. Next slide. Yes, so just to give you an overview, beyond traditional LinkedIn, LinkedIn does a lot of magic in Germany when it comes to getting opportunities in terms of job. But there are other hidden websites that are not really famous and people don't explore. Of course, you all know Indeed, so I wouldn't talk much about Indeed. Maybe I'll talk about Stepstone. This is one of the biggest job boards in Germany that is very effective. And what I like about this job board is you can easily filter the job categories. You can also filter if it's English job or German jobs. And I think it's quite interesting because it even makes it much more easier for everyone to explore. So you can explore Stepstone when you want to find jobs in Germany. We have these Bundes, I don't know how to say it in German, but it's like a job center or job site. It's also very effective when you want to check jobs in Germany. Green jobs is, we have other like sectors-based kind of jobs. For those who want to explore jobs in sustainability or climate change or agriculture, you can also explore these kind of platforms like greenjobs.de. We also have englishjobs.de. So we have quite a good number of them. Next slide. But beyond applying jobs or beyond even going online on these job boards or beyond LinkedIn, there's something Germans called like the most successful recruitment tool. We also call it the hidden job market. When you look at this picture, you have an idea, like it gives you a sense that, okay, there's something called the word of mouth. The next slide. Yeah, so it's called the word of mouth, and another way we call it the hidden labor market. It's interesting to see that every third new hire, that is over 30%, comes from word of mouth. So what does this mean is relationship is key, right? People will give you a job because they know somebody who is hiring. And when you come to Germany with this opportunity card, beyond just applying jobs, you can explore attending events, try to connect with people. It's very, very important. Don't be in your own comfort zone, in your own shadows. You need to be out there. You need to find the right communities, connect with people, because over 30%, I'm telling you, hiring comes from word of mouth, especially when you're looking at startups. Especially as you can see for smaller companies, but I'll say startups, every second job, that is over 40%, close to 50%. Most of them hire through word of mouth. They don't really have that time to go through the whole recruitment cycle, posting, spending money, it's spending time. So this is why we call this the hidden job market. As you can see in another scenario, 1 in 5 cases, around 20% online job website bring employers and candidates together. So you see a lot of companies, they just post these jobs. It doesn't matter if you apply or not, they already know who they are hiring. So you realize that the hidden job market is something we can also help you all to unlock by helping you to navigate the whole job market. Over 10% of the vacancies are filled via job advertisements on the company's own website. So sometimes they might post on job boards, but it's also very interesting to see that you might need to also research companies and go on their career pages. This is also much more effective. So many companies we post mostly on their career pages. So they want you to even proactively just apply. You will see some companies that will even tell you just send a CV. They might not post roles they are hiring, but they want you to still like approach them. So it's something that you should always put at the back of your mind in terms of understanding how the job market works in Germany. Next slide. So if you want to tap into this hidden job market, there are many ways. Like I said, searching for jobs is okay. Searching for those job website, LinkedIn, Indeed, Stepstone is okay, but it's much more effective if you really go after companies, like go on their page, go on their a career page, look for the employees, like the hiring managers, try to connect with them, build a relationship, and even proactively apply. Also look for networks. We have a lot of communities, right? We have the Business Association Center here in Germany. we have the Nova Messi. So basically, there are a lot of huge job fairs, events that happen. So it's super important to really go out there because some of these hiring managers, there you can also meet people, you can also connect with people and learn some of these opportunities because networking plays a huge role in terms of how the labor market works in Germany. So it's really good to really go outside your comfort zone and proactively engage with companies, engage with networks, and try to also attend a lot of these huge events. Next slide. Yeah, so this is just to give you an eye opener. As you can see, there is a key and there is a password or like a puzzle, and there is you as the candidate. So basically, many people just apply jobs randomly. I don't know, maybe because of they're desperate, but to be honest, sometimes it's about quality over quantity. It's not in how many applications you're sending, but how effective, how strategic, how strong is your application, right? So it's super important to think about what kind of role you want, think about the kind of companies you're looking out for, and think about you as a person, as a candidate, what kind of skills you have. So it's very important that your profile matches with the keywords in those job description. If you see a job that is hiring, don't just send the same CV for like 5 rows of it doesn't even make sense. It's like a waste of time. It's like pouring sissy water in a basket. So it's really important to take extra effort to make sure your profile matches every single keywords in the job description. Is super important if you want to get to the next level of the hiring stage. So that is why you see the key and the puzzle. So you as a person, you should make sure your profile, your application, the skills you are presenting matches detailed in terms of the keywords, in terms of what they are looking at for as a company or as an organization. Next slide. Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing. As I mentioned, make sure your skills align with the company's requirements. If a company is saying they want somebody with skills in Python or machine learning, and then in your CV, there's no information about Python or machine learning, it doesn't even make sense, right? If a company said they want somebody who is proficient in Canva, and then your CV is showing you're proficient in PowerPoint, that's like a mismatch. So you need to always pay attention to the details, highlight your skills sections very strongly, and make it connect and align with what the company is looking out for. Next slide. Yeah, so I think Tedenika already talked about this. I'm not sure, but with the opportunity card, I think she already gave an overview. So for those of you who want to relocate for employment purposes, you can go on this website and yeah, you can check how, in terms of the chances or how qualified you are. But also on the previous link, we shared where you can check your points to see your points and see how you qualify for the opportunity card. Next slide. Yeah, so these are general job search platforms, and there's a lot out there that is happening, and many people don't know about these job platforms, and they're actually also very effective. Yeah, like if you see somebody who wants to apply for IT jobs, this is like a platform especially for IT jobs. So yeah, you wouldn't waste your time and doing searching everywhere, right? There is a job board for approaching like startups, so you can always try to be very strategic and make sure your job search is effective. And we try to support people with job search. So we have a launchpad program where you can join, and then we can support you and make your job search much more easier and very effective. Next slide. Yes, so these are also specific job platforms. So beyond the general job search platforms, we have the specific ones. For those who have engineering background, I saw some people already ask questions about engineering. You can see there is a special job boards where you can find a lot of jobs that are looking for engineers, whether hardware or software. For those who are into media, creative, fashion design, you can see there are special platforms where you can find job application tailored to these sectors. For those who are into IT, you can see. For those who want English jobs, maybe you feel like, okay, I'm finding so much opportunities only in German. You can come here to these job boards. We have EnglishJobs.e, Berlin Startups. So yeah, you find a lot of jobs that hire English speakers. Yeah, so you can explore any of them depending on what you are looking out for. For those who are into the gaming industries like gamers and all of that, high tech programmers, you can also explore jobs in the gaming industry. So what you find interesting is you can always try to make your job search much more effective and save your time all the stress and also explore this kind of specific job search platforms. Next slide. Yeah, I think it's pretty much it. This is also like sciences for those who are in life sciences or sales, startups, IT, sustainability. Yeah, by the way, for those who are into sustainability, we get people reaching out to us on agriculture. Yeah, you can also try these platforms and hopefully you can find some opportunities to explore here. Yes, so we have this is not our updated talent services. So we have a new updated talent services where we have a launchpad program. The first course is already going on. So the career launchpad program is a job application support program that can support job seekers to make their job search effective and to help them get job placement, either remote or relocation job. It runs for 10 weeks, and we have also the opportunity card service. Maybe you feel like you don't have the money for the block account. The good thing about the opportunity card is if a German company is giving you a part-time contract, that contract can serve as a replacement to bring you to Germany if you don't have the block account. So this is something we are also providing as a service. So if you want us to help you with the proof of funds, using a part-time contract, we can support you through that route, and that can be easier for you to come to Germany. We also have a new program called Study Gateway for those who want to just come for studies. Maybe you feel like education is your passion, and maybe you want to explore applying for tuition-free universities or even scholarships. We can also support you in this direction. When you scan this QR code, you will find the updated information on our website for the opportunity card or the career launchpad or the study gateway. It will take you to fill a form. And then when you fill the form, we'll definitely be in touch with you at least 2 or 3 days after filling the form. You definitely hear from one of our colleagues. So you can also reach us on this email, talent@terratalent.de. Yeah, so we are always available to support you all. And this is me again. You can just call me Kenny, and Danica and Paul is also on the call, who is also a colleague. I think if you have any question, you can also, I don't know, I think my colleagues have been answering all the question. Are there other questions we didn't answer yet, Danica, or everything is okay?
No, yes, the questions have been mostly answered. There's one here, support for free. No, I'm just going to quickly put in, if you can quickly go through the price options, Kenny.
We'll have to share the screen because this is not the updated.
One moment. I share my screen. Can you see my screen? Yeah, perfect. So these are the prices. So if you want to come for the study gateway, so this is if you're coming to find a university place or a master's a place for a bachelor or a master's. This is the study gateway, so support for your application, one-to-one study support sessions, application with the bot account, declaration or scholarship application. Basically all of these that you see here. For the career launchpad, which Kenny just mentioned.
Danica, we can't see your screen. Maybe you can stop sharing and then, no, we can't see your screen.
Oh. Oh, yes, it doesn't say that I'm sharing anymore. Now?
Yep.
Okay. So yes, the study gateway for €200 is for this. So this is support for finding a university place and applying for your visa, your providing proof of your financial sufficiency, and all of this kind of stuff. So listed here. And then the career launchpad, which Kenny just talked about. So this is the 10-week program. This is weekly group sessions, and Kenny's mostly in charge of this, so he can explain that a bit better in a moment if needs be. And then the opportunity card. This is for relocation of skilled workers on the opportunity card. This starts at $250, and then there are other installments that then need to be paid after each successful step. So it's for the first step is the $250. And then the next step, which is then going into the application and finding a job and all this stuff, this is another $250. And then once you find a job, so once we secure you a 20-hour per week job as proof of subsistence, this then adds the sorry, I got it wrong. This adds the $250 and the $750 on top of the original $250. And then this includes support with the visa administrative assistance. This is German integration, cultural assistance, application for bot account or declaration costs is the $250. But if you're going for the 20 hours per week, this is the extra $750 because then we secure this job for you. Then of course sessions, so every couple of weeks or so, depending on like where you are in your process, we come in and just check where you're up to, and then of course any information on the job market and labor market. Sorry, yeah, I could have explained that better, but I hope that cleared it up.
I think so. Thank you very much. Yeah, so for those who still have questions, you can feel free to also write us an email, and then we are happy to support you. I've also dropped my LinkedIn for those who want to connect. Yeah, you can feel free to reach out.
Yeah, yes. So I already shared our website in the chat already. But here you can contact us, you can email us, and if any of you are interested in pursuing the opportunity card, then you can drop us an email. And we can't say which is more effective between the career launchpad or the opportunity card because it really depends what you want to come here for, and it's also very, very reliant on some external issues as well. So third parties are often making decisions as well, whether they could obviously we can't guarantee a permit at the end. Obviously this is to do with external parties. So we can't say how which one is more effective. It's very, individual. But yeah, that's the
Okay,
hour.
I can share
Sorry,
more
Ken.
about, sorry, I can share more about the question about which is more effective between the launchpad and opportunity card. I think it depends on you as a person. Some people are eager to move to Germany. They want to just leave their countries or relocate. Then I can recommend the opportunity card. But for those people who feel like they want to really get a job, like get a placement, either remote or relocation, and they want to really build their career, then I can recommend the Launchpad. So it depends on you as a person, where you are with your life at the moment. So opportunity card, if you want to travel with your family, it doesn't work like a reunion visa. So everybody's doing their own visa. Like, so you are doing your own as a man, your wife is doing her own. It's like an individual hustle. You understand? So just to put that at the back of your mind. And for those who are asking, there are remote opportunities in Germany. Yeah, there might not be many, but they are quite, especially those who are into IT. We have remote opportunities in Germany. Hope I was able to answer these questions. Thank you, Danica.
That's okay. I'm just going to share one last link. This is just about how to bring your family with the opportunity card. But yes, if there are no more questions, then I will end the webinar. But yeah, thank